Authoritative. When I hear that word, I get a very negative vibe. I would visualize a strict, arrogant dictator sitting in his own chamber, making his own rules, and not giving a damn about anyone else. Well, looks like I just described Kim Jong un. Splendid afternoon to everyone present out here. My name is Rahul, and I've always had a very negative connotation around this word authoritarian or authority. I had decided that whenever I get into the position of power, I would be an affable person who respects others' feelings and never takes decisions without building consensus. Naturally, when I got an opportunity to lead a practice for my company last year, I decided to become a leader who's known to be fair, democratic, and thus loved by all. I decided to be Raymond, well, because everybody loves Raymond, right? That's why during the interactions with my team, I would consciously keep the environment very cheerful. I would have an open and transparent discussions where everyone can chime in. I respect everyone's strengths and refrain from micromanaging. And most importantly, I would always try to understand my team's point of view and not thrust my decision on them. Aren't they so lucky to have a boss like me? I thought I would always think to myself. Wouldn't you all agree how awesome of a boss I appear to be? If you do, please shout out some encouraging words in the chat. Shout out awesome, shout out great. Let me know if you would like to have a boss like me.
Awesome. Great.
Awesome. Yeah, 50% raise. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So clearly, just like all of you, during the 360 feedback last quarter, which happened in my company, obviously I expected my team to string a garland of praises around my neck. Let's hear what I got as a feedback. Rahul gives all of us a say in the decision-making process. But at times, we would love for him to take charge, set pace, and get things action fast. Okay, that didn't go too well. I think the next one is better. Rahul doesn't micromanage and rarely criticizes us. But that renders us having blind spots in terms of improvement, and we don't get a feeling of being coached. Okay, now that's a bit too much of a stretch now. Let's look at the next one. Hopefully that's better. Rahul continuously motivates me to think unconventionally. Hey, that's good. But, why is there always a but? But we believe he does that because he doesn't have a view of his own. Okay. Rahul is nice and soft and a kind person, but because of his goody two-shoes behavior, other stakeholders don't take us seriously. We would much rather that he defines clear rules of engagement with other teams and demand full compliance. And similarly, all the feedback I received was in some form or the other, Rahul is amazing, Rahul is awesome, Rahul is great, but I was stunned when I received these burger feedbacks. I call these feedbacks as burger feedbacks because on the surface, what you see are the buns, ever so soft, hot and fresh off the bakery. But within the buns is laced a difficult to chew, a gristly beef patty, the patty that starts with a horrifying butt. By the stroke of luck, I took the leadership assessment in the Toastmasters handbook shortly after I received the feedback burgers. It showed me how I scored high on three of the leadership styles, namely democratic, affiliative, and innovative, and scored dismally low on the other five: authoritative, pace-setting, bureaucratic, coaching, and visionary. And soon the feedback started to make more sense. I was over-exuding too many traits of a set of leadership styles at the cost of totally ignoring or not being able to capitalize on others. For example, in order to be more consensus-based, like I was exhibiting democratic leadership style, but at the cost of being authoritative when there was a need of the hour and set the pace for the team. Similarly, in order to be affiliative, I couldn't bring out the elements of a coaching leadership style when my peers and my team really wanted that. At the cost of being innovative, they felt that I lack vision. I'm not a visionary person. Again, at the cost of being nice and affiliative and kind, my team believed that I couldn't demand compliance from the external stakeholders and that I should be much more stringent and bureaucratic, maybe a Kim Jong un. So, in a nutshell, they wanted me to be a leadership spider. Now, what's a leadership spider? Just like how the eight legs of a spider support him in navigating the web, these eight leadership styles together support us in navigating this world without getting entangled in it. All of us may have some dominant leadership style, like how we have some dominant limb. But wouldn't it be difficult to lead through life if we were missing any of our other limbs, even if non dominant ones? Now, what this means in practice is that a good leader is the one who can invoke on the other leadership limbs based on the circumstances. Because each of these leadership styles has their own merits and use cases. And this means that if a situation calls me to be authoritative, there's nothing wrong in me being one. In fact, it actually helps to be bureaucratic and authoritarian when you need to take quick actions. For example, during situations like COVID. Leaders like Trump, who behaved in a very laissez faire manner, have pushed the US deep into the COVID well. That's why a style that works in one situation may not work in the other situation. So don't get too comfortable with your dominant style, dominant leadership style, and be open to adopting other styles as and when the situation beckons. If you would have to like one takeaway from my speech, it should be that there's no bad leadership style. Okay, there's only bad leaders, the leaders who are not able to adapt their style to the need of the hour. With that, go, my friends, balance firmly on these eight leadership styles and become a leadership spider, navigating this wide webbed world ever so smoothly. Back to the Toastmasters of the day.